Hello and welcome to FEMA TREM Seat Management Training. TRIREGA is the application which houses seat management for FEMA. The application is also known as TREMS internally. The application is browser-based, which means the application can be accessed via the internet internally only to FEMA. So you must use Chrome or Internet Explorer. You will be provided with a login account via email at some point. During this session, we're going to show you how to log in, give you the URL, viewing the available spaces for seat management, creating your reservation, canceling your reservation, and reviewing reservations on spaces. The following is a URL to access TREMS. The http://mwfm2wl.fema.net:9080/index.html. You may want to put this into your URL, make sure you can access it, and create a shortcut. This is only available within the FEMA network and cannot be accessed outside of FEMA. One of the most important things that you'll need to know is your user ID and password are case sensitive. Here's a sample of a case sensitive username, capital R and capital U on reserveuser@email.com. If the R and the U are not capitalized, the login method will fail every time. You will know what your login is and the case sensitivity of it once you receive an email. Remember, if some of them have caps, you will always need to keep it as a cap. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into the application and get started. Alrighty, as you see up here, I have the URL inside my browser. I will refresh this and you'll see that it gives me the TREMS splash page, which is basically your login page. You have your user ID and your password. I'm going to go ahead and log in as my reserve user. And I spelled that incorrectly. At email.com, very generic. Password is password. So you type in your username, your password, and then you click the login button. And if I've typed something incorrectly, it is not going to let me into the system. So let me just make sure that I have this typed correctly. SERVE user at email.com, and my password is PASSWORD. Click in, and now I did have something typed incorrectly. So when you first log into TRIREGA, you're going to see your home. There's a tab here. That's all you'll see. If you had more permissions, you'll start seeing more tabs going across the top. You'll have reminders, reservation here. If there's something that you need to be aware of within the application, or if you've received an email, you're going to see notices here. You'll see action items or notifications. If I click on any one of these, it's going to change the screen for me, and I'll see both action items and notifications. Typically, if I have a notification here, I will also have received a notification via my email. So I had a TRIREGA reservation. Reservation check-in is needed, so you'll need to check in on your reservations as well. So for these two, I'm going to go ahead and just click on one so you can get an idea of what it looks like. You'll also have received this via your email, so you'll have the same content. In order to maintain the highest utilization of our reserved meeting workspace, we require that you select check-in action in this email. So if you go here, click on the highlighted referenced, we'll have a button show up, and we'll need to check in. Otherwise, the reservation will get canceled. So that's just one. What's going to happen is we're going to go ahead and create a reservation. But that was just giving you an example of some of the notifications that may come in. So we're going to go back home by clicking on the Home tab here, or you can use the breadcrumbs going across the top here and click Home. That'll take you back to your original portal. So that's your notices, action items. Over here to the right, you're going to see your calendar. There is a reservation pending you for tomorrow. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a new reservation for today. So you click inside of the date that you want to create a reservation. We click create. Just click on the create that shows up. You'll get another pop-up here. This gives you some options. You can start making your reservation based on the floor plan, or you can look at the available rooms list. So depending on how you know your floors or your spaces and what you want to reserve, if you're going to look at the floor plan, you must be able to see the spaces that are available. And in this particular case, we have some layers that are turned on here that I'm just going to go ahead and turn off. I clicked on menu. I'm going to click on the layer manager. And there's a couple of layers here that I'm going to just turn off. Tag space and tag staffer. And that's going to get rid of those layers that I see there. That may not always be the case for your drawings, but I'm going to go ahead and walk us through this now. And I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So I'm going to use this hand to pan over, bring it over, and then I'm going to use the plus to make it a little bit bigger so I can see things, and then I'm going to drag it over again by using the pan and dragging it over. And now I'm just going to use the scroll on my mouse, which will bring those spaces closer to what I'm looking at. So for this particular floor, all the spaces that are reservable are highlighted in green. And this is 400 C Street, first floor. The only spaces that can be reserved, and I'm just trying to move this down so we can see it, are the ones highlighted in green here. And if you hover over any of the spaces and click on it, you'll see the room name. It's room 30. It's a open shared workstation. This particular one, I'm going to go ahead and highlight room 33, open shared workstation. So I would like to reserve one of these spaces, but first I need to identify why I need a space. So in the subject, need space to work all day. And then I'm going to pick the day by using this little calendar icon. When I click on it, I'll get a little calendar. It'll show me the dates. I'll pick Friday. And then I'll pick OK. Since this is going to be an all-day event for me, I'm not going to pick a time. But what I am going to do is check the all-day box. And it's going to refresh the floor plan for me to show me what spaces are available on that date. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick this corner office right here. And it has to be highlighted in yellow so that you know that it's been selected. Once you have your day, your subject, your room, now you can book the selected room. And then this page is going to change just slightly. And it's going to say rooms booked for this reservation. It's going to still leave the date. It's going to give you more information about that space. And it's going to be tentative until you click submit. So then once you know this is the room you want, go ahead and click submit. The window will save and close and take you back to your home portal. And it'll place a placeholder in your calendar for that particular space on that day. So that's how you reserve a room. Now, if you want to take a look at spaces and try to identify what's going on that space during a certain calendar period, you can go ahead and do that by just hitting create again. This time we're going to look at the spaces by the list. Or we can even just go ahead and look at it through the floor plan. But I'm going to go ahead and show you through the list real quick so we can get those big X's out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and pick on space 10. Space 10 may or may not have anybody reserving that space for a period of time. But I can take a look at the calendar view here. Once I click on that calendar view tab, I'm going to have a section that says reservation calendar. And if it's your first time looking at it, it may be collapsed. So there's this little minus sign here. If you click on that, it turns into a plus sign and it appears that you may not have anything in that spot. You need to click on that plus sign and expand it so you can see the calendar. And you'll see for all of February, this space 10 doesn't have any reservations. And you can even change the calendar to the next month, March. And we'll pick the 23rd. And you'll see March has no calendars either. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at another space, space 25, and take a look at the reservations against that. So what I did is I closed the window by clicking the X. I'm just going to scroll down here and I'm going to find space 25. Click on that space. And we're going to take a look at the calendar view. For space 25, we should have a reservation. And there is one, need room for meeting. If you click on that, you'll get two options. Actually one, because you're not the one who made the reservation. You can open up the space, the room reservation. It tells you who reserved it, and if their phone number exists, you could see it here. And if you needed to take that room for any reason, you can work it out with them that you can take that room. But at least it gives you the person, their name, their email, and their phone number, just in case you need to take that room and do something else with it. So that's how you log into Tririga. I'm going to go ahead and close this down and close this one because we're not making a second reservation. That's how you log into Tririga. You look at your notices, your action items. Then you also take a look at your calendar, add reservations. When you receive a notification, which you will be receiving a notification for any of the reservations you make a couple of hours beforehand, you'll receive an email. You'll have to come into your notifications. And then here's another one that just came through. We need to confirm and lock in the reservation for space 23 that we just created today by clicking on here. Click here if highlighted for referenced record. And then at the top, you can either check in or cancel the reservation. So you'll always get a reminder almost immediately after you reserve it to check in. If you do not check in, that reservation will be canceled. So number one, we've logged in, we've gone to reservations, we've looked at notifications, we've created a new reservation. And the next thing that we can do is talk about canceling a reservation. You can either do it through your notification, just like I showed you, or you can come to the actual reservation here. Just click on it, and you'll have two buttons, an open or a cancel event. If you wish to cancel this reservation, click on cancel event. A new pop-up appears. And it just asks you a simple question. Are you sure you want to cancel this reservation? If you do, you click submit and the system will remove that reservation from your calendar and from that room, that space altogether. Once you're done with Tririga, you can just sign out by clicking the sign out link up at the top. That'll take you back to your login page. I hope this was very helpful in understanding the reserve tool and seat management. Thank you.